Okay, welcome everybody. I'm going to call the meeting, select board meeting of Monday, April 3rd, 2023 to order. And our first thing is the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll do our warrants. Take it away, John.
Okay, general fund warrants, dated March 30th, 2023, in the amount of $49,572.83. Pretty much general stuff on here. We did get some more salt, I see, that's the biggest ticket item, for $26,000. So, anybody, well, I'll make the motion to approve that. I don't have to do that anymore. I'll make a motion that we approve the warrant dated March 30th, 2023 in the amount of $49,572.83.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to get that this good?
Okay. I will. Next up are the two payroll warrants. The first warrant is dated March 31st, 2023, in the amount of $39,735. And that is almost double of the typical amount because of the agency checks. And the other payroll warrant is dated March 24th, 2023, in the amount of $22,903.11. I make a motion we approve both of those warrants.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
You.
And then in the miscellaneous warrants, we have two of them. One is storm, we'll start with the first one. The first one dated April 3rd, 2023. It's the stormwater utility warrant. It's for EIB, which handles our stormwater department as of right now. In the amount of $3,541. I'll make a motion we approve that warrant.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye. And the second miscellaneous warrant is the infrastructure development warrant, dated April 3rd, 2023, in the amount of $455.84. This is for Freeman, French, and Freeman for the town hall. Just about the remainder of, right? I'll make a motion we approve that warrant.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. Yeah, I'll sign it. Go ahead and keep going.
Okay. Public comment.
Oh, I think we have
Minutes
minutes,
first,
sorry.
yeah.
Oh,
One more bit
Oh,
of
yeah,
boring
sorry.
business, but minutes,
all right.
please.
We have the minutes from
Tuesday the 20th, Friday the 24th.
Tuesday the 28th, which is our special meeting, and Friday the 24th, 2023. And Thursday the 23rd.
Yeah.
Yep. And Monday, March 20th, 2023.
That should do it, right? I'll make a motion we approve those minutes.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Now we can do public comment. You got a big crowd here. Paul,
It
state
may
your,
be
no, you gotta
preliminary.
state your name, Paul. You
Oh, I'm
gotta
sorry,
state your name.
Paul Larner,
Yeah.
of the Bay.
You gotta talk loud, 'cause Jen's way up in Jeffersonville.
I noticed none of the questions never make it into the minutes, so I
Well,
just,
they can't hear them, that's why.
oh, okay. It's basically, I'm gonna be asking two questions forever. And it's gonna relate to the sidewalk that was, and the work at the Stone House, which you guys are very determined that they were going to be done this year. And if I don't keep asking, I don't want the public to forget that we're not getting them done. So that's why I'm saying this may be a little preliminary. I'd like to know what the status is of the sidewalk at the bay between the park and the town hall,
Mhm.
and the status of the townhouse, or the stone
Stone
house. Stone house repairs or restoration, whichever you wanna call
Carrie?
Well, we've talked about them actually with all the department heads, every single week. We're developing like a Gantt chart schedule, so you'll know right now if we're on schedule or not scheduled. So we're in the preliminary stages of trying to figure out what we have to do for design. You can't just, sidewalks are fairly straightforward, but Dave and I were talking earlier today. He's gonna look at them to find out if we actually have to hire someone for design and figure out the scope of work. Some of them are very straightforward, some of them involve some easement work, so Dave's working with Megan to come up with a schedule that specifically shows you, we'll call it the Dollar schedule if you like, but we haven't forgotten about it. I mean, you can come and you can call me,
it.
you'll have to
It's
reach me.
been 6 to 8 weeks, and
It sure has, yeah.
the whole problem with the grants and the fear that we have that Brendan brought up with it, and I think maybe even Brian mentioned it, is that money's going to be reused by the state if we don't do something with it.
Yeah.
And that was the impetus, so I saying this has got to be done this year. Now, that's almost 8 weeks ago.
We had to wait for first of all, for the budget to pass on town meeting day.
No,
Yes.
I'm gonna
it
disagree
is.
with you, because what I'm saying is, those projects all require shovel-ready, which means the engineering is done, and we know where we're going. Now, there's one thing about the stone house that I suggested to somebody, that when I was dealing with the park for 11 or 12 years, we worked with the state, and they have engineering people down there, and they have everything you need to know, plus the people who will do the woodwork, because they do it for the other state projects. If nothing more, that's, for the stone house, I would suggest you start there. They will give you the names of people who will repair slate and do it well. We had a contractor for, by then it was $150 a year. I think it was $300 by the time I was done. But they came up every single year and repaired everything on the slate. We never really had much on the woodwork. You guys have gone a long way in the years since I got done down there. But start with the state. You gotta start someplace.
We did actually start with the state, and the state got rid of their free program. We can no longer get free engineering. I
It's
tried
not
that.
free.
Well, they don't have the capacity to do projects for us when we own the buildings anymore.
I'm sorry, they have the names of the people who do the work. Slate is very specific. It's very difficult to find somebody that does slate well. And there's a man who contracts, does not work for the state. They can give you the names of the people to talk to.
Okay.
The other thing is, on the engineering, that's not heavy-duty stuff, to sit down and get out the plots and where everything is and where we want to go. Because if you don't have that to start with, what are you going to have when you talk to your consultants? You're going to let them tell you what we want. Get out the diagram, get out the street plans, measure the roads, know where the marks, put some stakes out there so you know where the edge of the road is. Then we'll know how many poles have got to be moved. How many ditches, if we're going to go on the other side, how many ditches or how many feet of ditch have to be filled? How many culverts have to be screwed with? It's a big project, it's not an easy one. We've got to start. We said we were going to do that this summer. And if you don't have plans in place now, it's kind of late. So let's get it shovel ready.
The funding was approved. I don't believe anyone said we're gonna have
We have the
sidewalks.
money.
No one said we're gonna have sidewalks this summer, Paul. I mean, that's unrealistic. So yes, keep asking. You know where to find me. You can ask me every
No,
day. But
I'm not trying to be,
But you are, because you know how to reach me, and I'm reachable all the time. Email,
you're
phone,
far further away than you used to be.
you can walk, we walk really far, you can make it. But
Needs a
we're,
sidewalk.
No.
needs a sidewalk.
We need the sidewalk. Seriously,
There's no
please.
So I mean, it's something that we're working on. I think people are addressing it, but things do take time, and things take more time than they used to take.
I don't.
You back up 40 years
somebody.
ago, probably a different story.
You gotta start somewhere. If you haven't called the state, you gotta start.
what we
So
do.
it's Parks and Recreation, I wouldn't even know the people down there now. But whoever's responsible for the South Hero Park and the Grand Isle Park, they know people to talk to who can do some of the, have the knowledge to do some of the work on that stone house. And that's a big deal, because that roof probably won't fall in, but the slate's getting pretty rough. The wood's gonna fall off.
So we are working on a request for proposals right now to replace that roof. It's just not quite done.
The stone house.
The stone house, that is correct.
You know,
It's not the private sector, Paul. It's not the private sector. Things take longer. It just
guys,
does.
been there, done that. I'm not trying to be unreasonable. I'm just trying to, I will say that, talk with people, some of this stuff, sidewalks in particular in this town, have been going on for 20 years. When Brendan and Brian both agreed, I think you did too, John, that we've got to do something or we're gonna lose that money. What good is having all this impact or this tax money if we have to turn around at the end because we didn't use it, we don't have any shovel-ready projects, we gotta give it back to some other town in the state of Vermont.
We're not there yet either.
It's they're talking about it, that's all it takes.
It takes them a long time too. We'll spend the money before they get there.
And then it's here. Please,
Right,
let's get that done.
I think that's our intention,
yeah.
but we're, as he says, it's just, we
Show
just
me.
barely decided to do it in February, didn't we? To do that sidewalk, those
Further than
sidewalks.
that,
It was in, I can't remember the exact date, but we were talking about budget. It was
Right.
at a budget meeting, so
Right.
it's definitely before Feb, it was the last week of January, I think.
But, so it's on people's agendas and they have their department head meetings and there's an RFP in the works to get that done. So things are happening and it goes slow at first and then faster as we get into it. But you gotta get all the ducks in a row before you can.
you gotta get it on paper before you can get offer estimates
Right,
and costs.
oh, that's right.
And that's been 8-9 weeks now.
Yep.
That's like not very long, this world. 8 or 9 weeks.
Make the phone call, start it, say you made the phone call. On it, dear.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Need that sidewalk, I don't wanna hurt my ankle anymore.
Anybody else got a comment?
Just a question, what department would head up what Paul's talking about? Is it one department that runs that, or is that the sidewalks?
The sidewalks? I thought you were talking about the stone house. Sidewalks?
Right now, Public Works is working with
Public-
planning and zoning to put together an RFP to hire somebody to help us design, do all the background work for the sidewalks. And you know, designing a sidewalk is simple, it's all the easements and everything else that comes along with it that's not easy.
Right.
And especially over here, it's not gonna be that easy. We'll get through it, but there's a building in the way, there's a fence in the way, there's trees in the way, there's somebody's stairs to an upstairs apartment that's in the way. It's not gonna be a simple project.
Did that answer
Like
your
I said,
question?
design it's easy, it's everything else that's not.
Right. Not to mention the 2 other ones up.
And the RFP we're working on will include the ones up on Route 7, from Prospect down to tie into the city's sidewalk.
And so the stone house, that's tied in with the public works too, through
Yep.
parks and recreation.
Yep.
But we did make a commitment to do that, repair that roof, and we're gonna move forward.
We are working on it, but there's a lot of things going on around town, so.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm just gonna say one little thing.
yep, what's your name?
Pam Fischetti. Maybe you just need somebody to head up a committee, start a committee for this, to get things moving.
Well, I think they're actually moving. I guess they're not moving fast enough for Paul, but they are
But you
moving.
have somebody already that's heading this whole thing. Oh, okay.
Public Works guy right there.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's Paul.
Along that same line, I know our chief engineer's here, and I know that was a big deal in the hiring. The fact that we have our own engineer on property, but This is summertime coming up. How many weeks? 3 weeks, 5 weeks? You're gonna be out of Clarkson. There's a few of those guys live right here in St. Albans, and girls. But on the intern to pull out the paperwork and get down the plans. And at least, it's not easy. I know the whole area here. It's not even gonna be easy. That's what I'm talking about, ditches and telephone poles and property easements and all that other nonsense. But it can be done if we decide with the vigor that seemed to come when it was decided we needed to do this, that vigor lasts. It will get done. Put on an intern for the summer to sit down and do that project. My grandsons have both interned with power companies in different places. That's what they did. They sat down with plans, blocks, just laid things out, and with a little bit of guidance, we might have something workable. Just a thought, summer's coming. And they can rake leaves when they're not busy. They work for the park.
Okay, any other comments? Oh,
I just wanted
David
to make
Bray?
just an observation. I appreciate, I don't know who it was, but somebody over the weekend pulled 2 of those picnic tables off the ice that were sinking in over by the park. I don't know if it was somebody from the town or it was
It was.
a concerned citizen. It was good, because I went down and looked at it, and I said, man, those things are gonna be trashed real soon. They were just too heavy for me to get.
It was John.
John did.
Good. Well, thank you. Just the other one is, are those Christmas lights on the stone house, are those permanent, or did just somebody forget to unplug them this year?
I don't know, they look pretty good, don't they?
Well, I just,
They look good in the summer.
What's that song? I keep my Christmas lights up on the porch all year long. That country song.
It's not intended to be permanent.
no,
Okay? All right, moving on.
I'd like to comment if I could.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
who's that?
Amanda?
Thank you. This is Amanda Drew. I just want to acknowledge and thank the town and the town fire department for lowering their flags last week in honor of those who lost their lives in Nashville. It didn't go unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Okay, next on the agenda is the select board annual board and committee appointments. And we have quite a list here.
You have a list that was on the, on your desk that was revised because Jen got some in with highlights on Friday. So a bunch of volunteers are here as well, so.
Oh, is that what all this crap
Yeah,
is?
well, many.
I thought we did something wrong.
You guys are just excited, I'm really interested in this whole stuff. It's because your chair's right.
Okay,
So we have just follow and go one at a time. We try to highlight where incumbents want to be reappointed.
all right, so first off is the Development Review Board. We have 3 positions for 3 years, terms ending 2026. And Tom Stanhope, Arthur O. Martin, and Bruce Thompson have all requested a reappointment. And a DRB alternative, 2 positions for 1 year, and Christina Boisnell has requested reappointment as an alternate.
That's great.
So, we need a motion for every one of these? Or
I think you could do one motion for that board,
okay,
and if anyone had any questions, Arthur's here, I think he's the only one from the DRB.
that's Arthur, okay,
Okay, so moved.
okay.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, DRB is filled. Planning Commission, we have 2 positions for 3 years, terms ending 2026. And Jay Nakuma, I'm gonna destroy this name, but,
It's Palczewski.
Pellet, yeah, I was gonna say that.
Very strong Polish last name.
Okay, and Amanda Headley have requested reappointment, and Al Vogel has requested reappointment of a 1-year unexpired 3-year term ending 2025. Motion to,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed, none, hearing none. Next is Northwest Regional Planning, 2 positions for 1 year. Megan Sherlin has requested appointment, and Marietta Schulten has requested reappointment. Any of those folks here? No?
No.
Okay, so I'll take a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Northwest Regional Planning Clearwater Advisory Committee, 1 position for 1 year. William Valerie, is that
I
right?
think so, he's fairly new, moving back to town.
Is he here?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
he's requested appointment. So what is this Clearwater? I've never heard of that one. You
I
know
don't know
that?
how
Want
to
me to-
describe it really well.
Oh,
Want me
you
to
know?
tell you?
Yeah.
So the state of Vermont, if it's what I think it is, the state of Vermont changed how it was running all of its water quality money. It used to go out to different organizations, say UVM, here, there, everywhere. Then as they moved along after the Clean Water Act in Vermont, they formed this committee, and the money kind of goes to the committee, and the committee reviews projects, and then like they send a lot of the money to the Regional Planning Commission. It's like a higher up, higher level committee to look at and evaluate water quality issues in the state. It's actually, they have a lot of control over money. It's a pretty big deal, I think. I don't know, Al may.
No, I'm familiar with it.
Okay, well, that's my understanding of it.
And they provide money for projects that aren't permit required.
Yeah, it's a powerful committee.
Okay, so we have this William Valerie or whatever, has requested a motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
The next one, I'll interject the Transportation Advisory Council.
Mhm.
I did talk to Dave earlier, and he's happy to serve on that. He's done so before for like the town of Milton, but I'd like to appoint Dave and John, so if Dave can't make it, John could attend.
Okay.
The TAC, they could call it TAC, TAC, Transportation Advisory Council.
That's been around for a long time.
And that's a similar thing, like regional planning reviews projects, and it's kind of nice to, it's important for us to stay involved with what other communities are doing, as well as that person can help support and promote our projects as they go through regional planning.
So we're looking to appoint Dave Allerton and John Montague, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Northwest Communication Union District, 1 position and 1 alternate for 1 year. Robert Warner requested not reappointment, appointment. Is he here?
he is not here. He sent us a letter stating that he just recently moved back to town. He's got an electrical engineering degree with concentration in radio frequency communications. Sounds qualified to sit on our communication district.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And Northwest Vermont Solid Waste Management District, 1 position for 1 year. Mr. Al Wojel has requested reappointment.
Make a motion, we appoint Albans Town for 1 year to the Northwest Vermont Solid Waste Management District.
Okay,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Northwest Vermont Rail Trail Council, 1 position for 1 year. Randy Chadburn has requested reappointment, and William Valerie has
I think there's
requested,
just one position, right?
so,
That's correct, there's a race there.
So,
so do we, like, put it out to a vote here, or just pick it, you know, flip a coin, what do you want?
Randy's been fairly responsive.
Okay,
He goes to meetings, he's interested in, and he keeps us apprised if anything changes.
well, William's doing the Northwest Regional Planning Clearwater Advisory.
okay, that's
He is.
true, yeah, we just put him on that, so.
I'll
Motion,
make a motion that we appoint Randy Chadford for 1 year to the Northwest Vermont Rail Trail Council.
thank you.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's see. Constable, one position for 1 year. Nobody wants to be constable. And the second constable, nobody wants to be the second. Tree warden. I thought I was a tree
I thought
warden.
you were too.
I don't think you are right now, but you could be, because
Well-
also no one
I'll make a
else.
motion, we appoint Jack Brigham as the tree warden.
I second that.
Be careful, careful, you speak up.
Okay, yeah.
Go for it, yeah, it's
I
fine.
can't vote on myself though, right?
I think you can.
I've had that position off and on over the years and I never did a whole lot.
The trees thanked him regularly.
Yeah, I'm quite I've been known as a tree hugger. So, yeah, I'll do it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And town agent, oh, that was eliminated
It was,
by statute,
Yes.
2020. Okay, so it wasn't the wear of coal, right?
correct,
Yeah. Yeah. And fence viewer,
right.
I did that for many years. Never had a call. Okay, Police Advisory Committee. Term to expire June 30th.
Can we talk about this first?
Yeah, so with our new agreement coming up, that's gotta be restructured somewhat, is that?
Well, that's why I changed, normally these appointments are for 1 year, so they end in April, like right now.
Oh,
But the new police advisory, the joint police advisory committee that is starting on July 1st of '24 will have this, each, the town and city will have to appoint someone. So I thought if we have people willing to sit on it until the current, structure expires, then that would work for, I think, all of them.
So
And
we-
they have said it would.
so we just gotta reinstate the ones that are there?
Right,
Okay.
if you choose to. I don't know what Jonathan's concerns were, but the
Well,
new-
that was my
Okay.
concern, was
Yep.
when we have overlap, when we have the joint committee
Right.
with the city.
So,
This should end before we get.
Well,
to-
this will end,
It will.
I didn't see,
Yep.
I didn't see the date. I thought it was
okay.
for 1 year.
all right. So
We'll be good.
all these folks that are listed here are on it now,
No,
No,
some are new, some are, it'll say if you're in the work, then I'll tell you who's been
or?
there.
Okay, yeah, I see.
yeah, I see it now.
Yeah,
So
So,
two are being,
Jay Sweeney has asked to be reappointed from the fire department, correct?
yes,
Resident with law enforcement experience, Matthew Engels, has requested appointment. Is he here? Is any of these folks here? I don't know.
no,
Danielle Poole Charbonneau has requested reappointment for resident at large. And resident at large Vivian Warner requested appointment, and James Cross requested appointment. So we can only have one, or we only need one of those two?
no, I think you can appoint all
All
of
of
them.
them?
We had never really fully filled out the police advisory board, so.
Okay, so, everybody good with those folks?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we appoint those as Jack stated.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Usually we have quite a time to get some of these filled, don't we?
We do, we're lucky this year, yeah. Some people moved around, that's all good. This next, I don't remember ever having filled the RECO area nonprofit with addiction experience position. We'll have to work on that, but we don't have any anyone requesting appointment, and I don't know that we have in recent.
And nobody for the nonprofits or business owners.
Correct.
Is this something new, or we had this right along? The nonprofit?
It's new,
New?
yeah.
What's its purpose?
I'm not really sure. I'd have to read it and get back to you. It might have something to do with the money that we received as far as litigation.
The opioid settlement.
Yeah, the opioid settlement.
Oh,
I
okay.
think we received around 16,000.
So whoever ends up on this board, if we find anybody, they're gonna be responsible for,
I think you guys are still you have a say as our legislative body, but we'll look into it. I don't exactly know what their oversight is.
so is this a nonprofit or a bunch of them?
No, this is all for the police advisory committee.
Well, this is,
Yeah, those last three.
okay.
That's it. I was like, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that
Oh,
committee. That
that's
makes
a-
perfect sense. There's a space
Oh.
there at their
Oh,
It's part
okay,
of
yeah.
it.
That's
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
We don't have
Alright.
anyone from those.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
know.
was like,
God, you saw that.
didn't make sense.
Come on, I tried to make it easy.
I know, but there's a
Well, there's
space
a
there.
space that,
Yeah.
Perhaps for a reason,
It's
because
all-
nobody was interested
nobody-
in those positions.
Just, yeah, I totally,
Okay.
It's part of it.
this is not
All right.
clear.
So we don't have anyone from there, but if you know of anyone who works for a nonprofit with addiction experience, or just a nonprofit, work or or a business owner, we still have spots on the police advisory.
Okay.
That one is larger than some of our other advisory committees.
All right, so next is Historical Preservation Committee, 4 positions for 1 year. And Janet Bailey has requested reappointment, Joe Luno has requested reappointment, Laz Gangus requested reappointment, James Cross requested reappointment, or appointment, excuse me. William Valari requested appointment, Donna Deloria requested appointment, and Liz Reardon requested appointment. So can we have them all, or?
It says 4 positions,
Oh.
Laz is here actually, do you know if there's a limit on that committee?
I don't know what the bylaws set for limits. I don't know if we were fully
Right,
when we met last year,
okay.
but I thought we had more than 4 people on
I
the
thought you
board
did
last year.
too, so-
We had something like 6 or 7, I thought.
I would say at this point, I think it's fair if you appoint those that requested appointment. If we're over, we'll bring it back and revise that. But I don't believe there's a limit on that.
So we could have them all?
For now.
Yes, so we confirm it. They don't meet that frequently, 4 times a year, is that
4
right?
times a year.
Okay. So,
I'll make a motion that we approve the list of people that requested appointment and reappointment to the Historical Preservation Committee.
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You probably get at least 4 or 5 at a meeting now, we've got 6 or 7 here, so that's good. Parks and Recreation Committee, 4 positions for 1 year. And we have Kevin Lawler, Amanda Giroux, and Michael Forrester.
Mhm.
Any of those guys here?
Kevin
You're
is.
Kevin, right? Anybody else?
Michael Forrester, I think he lives near me, actually, he's a recent transplant, moved up here to be with his children,
Okay,
very active.
all right.
So I'll make a motion to appoint Kevin Lawler, Amanda Giroux, Michael Forrester, and Brendan Diesel for the Parks and Rec Committee for 1 year.
Okay,
Yeah, he said he wanted to do it.
all right.
I'll second that.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Memorial Wall Committee, 4 positions for 1 year, and at this point, we have no requests.
Usually that's another short-term, committee with minimal
Is that
requirements, so.
the thing at the Stone House?
No, that's for, like, we have a memorial wall we're going to put up here in this
Oh.
hallway. We had one in the
Yeah.
the lobby kind of the old town hall. The committee starts meeting in October, maybe once a month, taking names on any nominations for individuals they might want nominated to the memorial wall.
Doesn't the person have to be dead? What's that?
The person that we're honoring does need to be deceased. Yes, they have to be dead. But we have like a 2-page policy on that, and so we start meeting in October, take names, work through that, and then come to the select board with a recommendation in January of each year. That's what we put in our policy.
Okay.
Can you volunteer?
Absolutely can, yeah,
Can I volunteer?
perfect. Yeah, if you can put your name and when you leave on that attendance sheet, just give me your email.
So what, your name is?
James
Cross.
Cross.
Okay, so I'm
Cool.
gonna put you down.
Yeah, just give me your, like a good email and phone number, and we will contact you in the fall.
You need a motion.
You
for
already
that?
have it?
Oh.
He's a JP.
Oh, perfect.
I have it.
Do you need
Oh.
a motion for that?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, sure, he's here, let's do it.
I'll make a motion, we appoint James Cross to the Memorial Wall Committee for 1 year.
I would gladly second that.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I think this is like the most folks we've ever had come forward. That's great. All right, next is the health officer appointment. And we got something from,
And this is separate, because it's actually a state appointment. We need to do it, and do a motion for that. Bob Cross is
okay, I was looking
currently our
for,
health officer, and he has agreed to be reappointed for a 3-year term.
he had a letter here somewhere.
He did.
So,
So I'll go ahead and make the motion to appoint Harold Bob Cross as the St. Albans Town Health Officer for a term of 3 years ending in 2026.
I'll second that.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Bob's back on that. All right, now we need to,
I'll make a motion to recess the select board meeting and
Yeah.
convene as the liquor
liquor
control board.
control board. Yeah.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
So these are all the names of the ones that are. You wanna just, I'll just read them and we'll do like a blanket.
You good with that, Ann?
I'm good with that. I can attach the minutes to
Okay.
those applications.
Okay. We used to do site visits, but I guess that's
No.
out. Okay.
That's only for a new business.
Oh,
Yeah, these are just renewals.
oh, okay. All right, so there's St. Marie's, I guess it's supposed to be Enterprises or something?
Yeah, that's it.
That's the Bay Store. Jolly Associates, now the Bay Store was second-class tobacco, and Jolly's was tobacco substitute. Mill River Brewing, there's 2 are first and third class. Maple Fields North, second class tobacco substitute, and Maple Fields South, second class tobacco and tobacco substitute. That's it. Yep.
Any news about everything's
There's
good?
no violations, no.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve those businesses for your license.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No, we don't have to sign anything?
No, I'll just attach the signed minutes.
Okay,
Make a motion, we close the liquor control board and reconvene as the select board.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So next we have Vermont Division of Historic Preservation Certified Local Government Agreement. Okay, what's this all about?
Do you wanna explain it, Laz? Do you have, no?
Sure.
That would be, if you could come forward, that would be.
Yeah, come right up in the hot seat,
I don't
Laz.
wanna come up.
All right, well then, that's fine, you can do it. As long as they can hear you.
Just speak loudly.
Okay, well, before you can, form a historic preservation commission, you have to be a certified local government. And that comes from the Division of Historic Preservation with the state of Vermont and the National Park Service. Once you've had the committee meet, they have to meet 4 times a year, then it goes to the state of Vermont, the National Park Service, and you get certified. What that allows you to access grants and monies to do historic things in the community. So if you want to, let's say, make the downtown, the Bay a historic district, you could get money for that to do that. Or talk about the stone building, there might be some money to do some work, there might be some money to hire engineers to do stuff. So there's a list of monies that are available, and probably about once every 4 years, there's money available for construction. But it's basically to encourage keeping historic buildings vital and being used in the community. And this is one of the first steps to doing that.
So we've done this before, or is this something new?
We just started last year.
Oh, okay.
So we did the paperwork in the background to become a certified local government. And it's really, it's not really a government, but it allows you to access monies. For instance, the city did it 2 years ago, and we got money to redo the downtown historic district and bring it up to date. It was like 24 years old. So it allows you to get certain monies to do historic stuff. That's really what it's about. So I think it's a benefit to the community if you use it and do it. The application for funds is in, I believe, late November, early December, and then it gets awarded in January or February. So and the committee hasn't met yet. I mean, we're supposed to meet 4 times a year. We haven't met yet. I'm sure we'll meet soon. But we may look for some projects, or if the town has some projects they want to do, to let us know, and we can start the process. But that's what it's about.
All right, so we have to join this then?
Huh?
We have to join or approve this?
Yeah, if you don't approve this, then the committee's null and void.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. All right.
Please look outside, it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, it is.
Oh, Pat?
This historical thing, I mean, could we get money for the old town hall? That's historical, why couldn't we do something, get money and do something with that?
Well, we probably, maybe we can, but I guess we gotta sign on first.
You do.
Yeah.
You have to sign on first, and then you can look at projects.
Right.
I think it's our only historical.
It's the only historic building in the town.
No, the stone house is still.
Stone house.
Town register.
Just believe it is, yeah.
I think most of the town rejected that, the town hall, and that came back, I was like, shoot, that back in the 80s. That came around, most of us rejected it. The town hall went on the list, it's the only building in the town that's, we really can't modify. Yeah.
So, I'll make a motion that we sign the historic preservation agreement, or have the chair sign that. Second.
Okay, any more discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
So you want me to sign this, or you want Brian to do it?
No, I'd like you to sign it.
Okay.
Awesome. You're official now, Loz.
Go call a meeting.
Huh?
Go call a meeting.
Yeah.
You got it.
It appears to be one of the hottest committees in town, so you
Yeah.
I
guys
see
have
that.
some
I was
stuff going
impressed.
on.
8 people is good. Absolutely.
Okay, next is the local Emergency Management Plan, LEMP.
Yeah, so this is required, it's basically a short emergency list for, that the state emergency department and regional planning use when something really horrible happens. Usually for us, it's a weather event, but, the local emergency, director, Bob Cross, I'm the assistant, I'm the emergency coordinator, we both looked at it, and Sean from regional planning has updated it as well. So it should be fairly up to date, and we can update it throughout the year. This is just that once a year they ask you to review it and officially approve it.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the LEMP and authorize the town manager to sign on the town's behalf.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
Um,
So,
So, are you gonna talk about these other two? These are all stormwater ditching, that's Dave's.
right, that's Dave's appearance.
So is there something else I'm supposed to do here?
No, just turn it over to me for the manager's part, unless you have something else you want to talk about.
Okay.
Go
Is
ahead.
there anything to sign on that local?
No, they don't, they used to, that's why you're thinking that.
Yeah, I'm
We used to
looking for-
have the select board sign the local emergency management plan, now they just, I sign it at your, after your approval, and we're good
Okay.
for a year.
All right, so I guess it's time for the town manager's report.
Awesome. So I'm gonna ask Dave to come forward. Dave Allerton is our Director of Public Works. So, he's been reviewing, we've talked about this a couple weeks, where we wanna apply for a Class 2 paving grant. He has, also decided where we're gonna apply for a structures grant. And then third, he's gonna comment on how we're gonna revise the easement requested from Vermont Electric Co-op.
And there's a third grant to apply for too.
Oh, that's right.
Grants
Yeah,
and
it's through here.
Yep, that's right. We added another grant because most of them are due, like the structures and paving grants are due in the middle of the month before your next meeting.
Okay, take it away, Dave.
Okay, so the first one, let's talk about the structures grant. So this is for the French Hill culvert. It's currently it's 8-foot diameter culvert essentially. That's all rusted out on the bottom, so we're gonna replace it with a concrete box, or at least that's the plan. I've got design plans already. The estimate on the project is around $277,000. We can get up to $200,000 with this grant. And then it requires 20% local match, but our local match would just be the part that's over. So I'm just looking for authorization to go ahead and submit the grant for that project.
So that's gonna be the same as the one that's further down that we put in years ago by where the beaver pond used to bust out there, where you go down in that dip. That was a big concrete, so you probably,
I'm not sure which one you're speaking of, because I wasn't here then, but yes, it'll be a concrete.
yeah, 'cause I crawled down in this one here last year just to take a peek and,
Your foot probably went through the bottom.
well, I didn't get right inside, but I looked in enough to see it was kind of sagging and,
Yep, and it's definitely got holes in the bottom of
Yeah.
it, so that's not good.
okay, so looking for a motion to approve that.
Make a motion that we, give permission for Dave to submit the structured grant.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So the next one is the Class 2 paving grant, and again, they have $200,000 that they candidates, we have to apply, we may or may not get it. I was looking at all the Class 2 roads around town, and I picked 2 spots where I thought we might be able to apply, that probably used it more than, could use paving more than others. One of those is the top of Congress Street, from the city-town line to Route 104. And the reason I would apply for that one is because the city is also applying to do Congress Street, essentially the whole thing. So then that would just be an extension of that project. And we
Right.
could probably realize some efficiencies then if we
Yeah.
piggyback on them with the same contractor and then just keep right on going.
Okay.
My estimate on that project is around $100,000. I did some revisions of my numbers this afternoon. So that one, it would be an $80,000 grant and a $20,000 local match. And that would just come from our paving line.
Okay.
The other one I was looking at doing is Jewett Brook. And I think we could do all of that from Kellogg Road Extension up to Vermont Route 7 there. But the question in my mind right now is there's another culvert that goes underneath there. I haven't had a chance to crawl down there, but I will probably towards the end of this week. And if it's bad, it needs to be replaced, we probably would not apply because we're going to fix it. That would be, it's a bigger culvert.
Okay.
So if,
How far down is that? Is that before the tracks?
it's close to Route 7 actually.
Oh, okay.
It's on
That's
that
part of
side.
that big one?
Yeah.
You did budget work there not too long ago.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
clean
there's a
water.
little sag in the road right there, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure what's going on underneath. So it's indicative of something. So once I crawl down there, we'll know.
Okay.
So I can apply for one of those, I can apply for both of them and see what we get. You know, obviously they wouldn't give us both.
Oh, they won't?
You know, they may not even give us one, but you just never know.
That's not very nice.
both, right?
Yeah, doesn't hurt. I mean, it's
Why
not
don't we
that
put
hard
in,
to apply
why don't
these.
we put in 2 or 3 more, see which one sticks?
I think that might be too much.
Too much?
Yeah, that could be better.
All right. So you need a motion for those, either one, or both of those, you want to go for it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Make a motion, we let the Director of Public Works apply for 2 paving grants.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
so the third grant I want to apply for is, it's called the Grants in Aid. This one's pretty much a no-brainer. The, used to be run by the Agency of Natural Resources, but they turned it over to V-Trans. But they've got a certain amount of money that they give to all the towns in the state. And the amount they give you is based on the road miles. So they would give St. Albans Town $12,000, and we would have to match it with $3,000. And it would come out of the stormwater budget. And it's used for doing ditching and culvert work on what are called hydrologically connected road segments. It's essentially road segments that are draining right into waterways in the town. And we've already got a road erosion inventory that's identified all these locations. So I've got plenty of places we can use this money. And this one, all we really have to do is submit a letter of intent and you get the money.
Okay.
It's not competitive at all, but if you don't apply, they take your money and parse it out to all the other towns.
Okay.
So it's
All righty.
we really.
So-
What's the program called?
It's the Grants in Aid.
Grant and Aid?
Grants in Aid, yeah.
Okay, so you got some places in mind, right?
Yep.
Okay. So,
I think last year they used it for the Brittle Road culvert.
oh
They
yeah,
were gonna use more of it over on Lord Road, but they didn't have enough money to keep
yeah,
going.
okay. So, guess we need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we allow the Director of Public Works to apply for or submit a letter of intent to the Grant and Aid program to secure the funds that are available to the town.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, I gotta sign these 3? Want me to sign these, or?
I will sign, I mean, you can sign them, but I have to sign it, and then it just says select board approval, so sometimes I'll just put the date that the select board approved it. But if you've got them there, sure.
I'll
It
sign
doesn't-
them right here.
Our,
Did I, they're all in favor?
So the last thing I have is, last week we were approached by the Vermont Electric Co-op. They wanted to get an easement up on French Hill to put in some more of their power lines, electric lines. And the way they explained it to me is they approached the area from 2 different directions, and right now this project will tie them all together. And they just want an easement in the right of way to be able to trim the trees and keep their lines clear. And they've already got some easements from some of the homeowners up there that would also.
So the lines are already there, right?
They need to put in a new line.
Oh, new line.
That connects it all together.
And it's a permanent easement, it's
It'll
not
be
a
a permanent
construction.
easement.
Okay. So, I mean, it's coming from one way and the other, but it's not connected?
That is correct. That's how it was explained to me.
Where is this gonna connect?
Well, I don't know if you have the map, make it into your promise.
I don't think, oh, wait a minute, I
I
do.
thought it was in there.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm not, it doesn't really show what the length is there.
You know the street
Runs
address?
between a couple of the properties there.
Dave, do you know the street address?
The street address is not on
They're
here.
giving us pole numbers, which is super helpful. It's all wooded, in a wooded area.
Doesn't look like it's, I'm assuming it's the blue.
Yes.
Yes, it's the blue, and then a little bit of the green on the right side of the map. That's where they're gonna tie it together. Originally, they wanted an easement to also be able to go under the road. Right. Told them I didn't want them to go under our road or tear up the road unless they contacted us first, so we took that out.
Well, they could bore there,
They
right?
couldn't bore there if they needed to.
I think we have a policy that's put in place many years ago that no more digging across the road.
Right, we're in the process of revising that, though, because
Yes, we are.
it was woefully inadequate for, if they actually did shake up our road,
Yeah.
cause damage, we
Yeah,
couldn't fix it.
But I remember a few incidents where they just dug it up, threw in some
Correct.
pipes, and forever had a,
Yeah, we don't want that.
no. Okay.
It looks like it goes across one driveway,
It does look like that.
Yeah.
so maybe they,
They did tell me they do have easements from two of the homeowners over there.
so would, I mean, if we gave them an easement, does that impede any of the town's
No.
business that they would have on that?
So,
No, they're just gonna keep it maintained, which
Right.
we won't object to.
There's no cost to the town, right?
no,
Correct.
It improves the reliability. It improves the reliability. In
Yeah,
case one of the
that's the-
substations goes down, the electricity comes in the other
Right. That's not by your house, is it now?
No, but I do get the power from, Route 104.
Okay, yours comes from that way.
Yeah.
It's gotta be fairly close to the town line, isn't it? I think it's fairly close to the town line.
it must be, yeah.
Yep. Okay,
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the road occupancy request easement from Vermont Electric Co-op for an easement on Trench Hill Road.
I'll second that.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
And you all will have to sign that, it does require select board
Okay.
signatures when we're done.
That's it? Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, so after, Public Works, we have draft policies, so we have draft two of both policy for security, didn't change at all, but the artwork policy, I found one, that seemed to be a lot more descriptive and has been in force in the town of Swanton for some time. So I'm wondering if that's gonna be closer and more presentable to kind of guide us as we accept and consider artwork for town hall, and actually anything else in town.
Could we have a replica of the statue of David?
What's that?
Could we have a replica of the statue of David?
Oh,
I don't know, what the policy say?
We're pushing buttons, aren't you?
Okay. So, what action do you need on that?
well, I'm wanting to, I would like to know if this is closer to acceptable for you, and I'm looking for approval, or, I mean, if you want all five of you to look at it, that's fine too, but this artwork policy is a lot more comprehensive than the other one, and I think does a good job of dancing around that fine line we were wondering how to get to.
As the person who brought up the stink at the last meeting, Me, I think this is much better.
It is, I like it better too. You just had questions, it's okay to ask questions, you know, we don't, it's not always negative, you have questions.
No, I know, I'm just joking, but
It's fine.
this looks much better.
Yeah, I liked it almost instantly, God, yeah, this works. Because we do want to encourage artists and all kinds of artists, but we want to be sensitive. Anyway, so I guess what I'm looking for is, are you prepared to approve it, or do you want to wait until the next meeting?
Well, would we be better off to
I
wait
say we
till
table it to the next meeting.
the whole gang's here? Is there no-
We did a lot of homework today, I guess.
Yeah,
We let that one go.
My head's still reeling from all these appointments.
I would also let the, probably the next one go too.
Yes, I don't have any new information
Oh, okay.
unless Jack has gotten some. We were asking for the meat of that grant, like what are we applying for?
Oh, that grant.
Oh, no, I just mean the
Oh.
building security.
Oh, the building
policy.
Yeah,
security
that's-
one?
yeah.
Yeah, I
Just let's
agree.
have everybody
Yep.
here.
I get you.
Yeah. All right,
That seems fine with me as well.
okay, so.
All right. So we'll move to the Community and Recovery and Revitalization Grant. We were asked to write a letter of support for Harrigan Dairy. I just couldn't get any information on what they were looking for in that grant.
And I got tied up in the maple business and never got to it, so.
I mean, we'll leave it on here, so it'll be on
Okay.
our agenda for the 17th, but like we called FCIDC Tim, called Elizabeth Vance, like, hey, what's a grant for? We're gonna write a letter of support.
Who even puts it out, like, who's the funder of that?
Couldn't find that.
Couldn't find it. They
So
approached,
we need a lot more information
Yeah.
before we can write a letter of support.
right.
Yeah.
So, and I was gonna get that and I just never got to it. Cause they did approach me and ask me about bringing it here and I thought I understood it when they told me, but I
Mhm.
might not have been fully focused and,
Right.
so I will do my best to get a hold of them guys and see, what actually they need.
That's fair. And
Yep.
we'll try to.
Okay, next is,
The last one is just the select board's copied on an Act 250 permit. It was a hoop barn facilities storage facility out in Para. There's no action requested at this time.
all right, so next is, our next meeting, which is, our next meetings, which is Monday, April 17th, and Monday, May 1st, at 6:30, two next select board meetings. All righty. Okay, so that concludes the regular meeting, I guess. We need a motion. I'd like to, well, one of you can make a motion to go in executive session to discuss contractual personnel matters where premature general public knowledge of the subject matter would place the town or person involved at a substantial disadvantage. It is further moved to enter into executive session to discuss a contractual and personnel matter under provisions of Title I, Section 313A-1 of Vermont statutes, and to invite the town manager, Carrie Johnson, and Al Vogel, interim director of operations.
So moved.
Second.
Okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Right?